Okay. Okay, hold on. Shout out to Destiny Mayberry, who requested this on 3 different videos of mine. I just got home from work, but with that level of enthusiasm, I'll record. No, I can't even wear a good shirt. This is like already chroma keyed out, but here we go. So I don't actually know. So that's vocal frying. It's generally really not a good idea to do that anywhere other than your low. But she's so gentle with it. It's a little misleading. The microphone is really hot, and the levels are really hot. So it sounds like she's got really she's singing very powerfully, but she's singing very gently, as a matter of fact. And so that's a pitched vocal fry. Generally, I wouldn't recommend doing it. Risky business, but she's really exceptional. So this is a really cool thing that happens a lot with R&B, especially modern R&B. And I've talked about this a lot with the lifting and lowering of the soft palate. But it's not an on-off switch, right? It's not just up or down. There's everything in between. So let's listen to how she finishes the phrase on the yeah, right? Right. So she's giving the low note a little bit more of an emphasis, because she's doing dub 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 da, right? She's like lower, or she's raising her palate a little bit when she gets to the end of that little phrase there. Make bitch shine average, wake up, need a lip, Hennessy. She's so good. Don't forget to come and pick up your. Her runs are demented good, but it's also like what I love about her that I don't hear a lot of people do. It's really common in opera, because in opera you want to be able to jump up or down, particularly if you're a lighter voice. So what you do is when you get to your low notes, turn my piano on. When you get to your low notes in opera, it can happen in jazz. Ella Fitzgerald did this all the time. All right, like if this is low for me, let's go a little higher. Right. So I can try to push as much air in it as possible, and try to make as much sound as possible. But what she's doing is she is giving it very little air. And when you can give it just enough air and then kind of expand everything, which is hard to do, but if you can do it, you get it's a little bit more lush, because it's actually a little bit more resonant. Like the fundamental won't be as loud, right? The actual note itself won't be as loud, but all of these frequencies around it sort of get highlighted. And it makes it sound really lush. And she does that, and then we'll go because she's like expanded, and because she is using very little air, then she can just go right up to her top. And I don't think I've ever heard an R&B artist do that. It's technique that's usually reserved for things that you have to, because it's so difficult. So like opera, any sort of like bebop jazz, and really, I mean, if we're being honest, anything that Jazmine Sullivan sings, because she's so bonkers, it takes years, decades. I got chills. Oh, hold on, like that harmony. Hold on, right? This is so cool. They slide into it, right? Listen to her, and listen to how the voices just sort of wrap it. Oh, so her backup singers right there. Don't need no peace. And I would, if I didn't hear the live Tiny Desk version with her backup singers, I would not have believed that they're that clean. I would have been like, that's auto-tuned, or that's, they had multiple takes to get that kind of crisp harmony. But no, they're that good. Her backup singers are out of this world. Like, they're incredible. And just for you to go and break my heart again, I learned my lesson. Hey, and I ain't coming. So that's a super wide tongue, super wide soft palate. And I just want to point out that there are all these, man, the voices. The voice teacher, the nerd, is going to get a little excited about technique. Pardon me. Man, it's the difference between like, what is this, 140, right? So when we're in the beginning, right? It's very soft, and then she starts getting into the verse, right? So she's in this part of the song. So like, how do you build up something, right? How do you make the chorus? How do you make the moments in the song that are really important? How do you make them stand out and stick? Well, dynamics is one way, color is another. And so when you lift your soft palette, you get both. You get more upper partials, which may not be what you want. You may want a smoother sound, and so you have it down. But she clearly wants it, and she wants a little bit more dynamics. And so listen to the difference between this, right, and then this. Go and break my heart again. I learned my lesson. Hey, it's very bright by comparison, right? And then of course she does all the experimental. And you missed what you had now, and I bet you I better on a new phone. I love it. Oh my god. Okay, so like like this group, she must have like the same backup singers, and they must get paid. Because, like, listen to her consonants and their consonants, and however, it's just so it's so clean, and they do this live. It's incredible. Too expensive, no more benefits, yes. Okay. Yes. Here's what's happening musically with these runs, and this is something that marks, for me, when I hear this is like a musician versus someone who's learned to do a couple of vocal tricks. Okay, this is a big lesson for anyone interested in R&B. So, you know, if you do a run like, yeah, or whatever you want to do, like, right, and you want to get fancy, you want to get tricky, and, you know, impress people, okay, you won't put that in the context of the song, all right? But that's like an amateur thing that, like, okay, cool, you can do that, you learned to do that maybe, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, and you think it's impressive. This is what's impressive. It's just so, it's like, that's called being an artist, right? I think that's like, it's as simple as that. She's communicating, and she's using these runs and these notes to shape a phrase. And it's not vapid. It's not hollow. It's music. And it's beautiful. It's just, she's so good. I don't need it. You can keep. And I love this too, because that's another thing right there. This is so hard. I know people don't like when I stop because they want to listen to the music, but like, go listen to the actual video if you want to do that. There's so many nuggets whenever I listen to Jazmine Sullivan, every time, and I'm so mad that I'm just finding out that this woman exists, because this is an extraordinary talent. So all those runs just happened, right? And she contours them, and she you know, like, and she's on the rhythm and she's on the beat. Now listen to this, I guess you could call it staccato, the right? So she's giving, you know, this attack on the note and then bringing it and stopping it. Right, on that way up, and then we'll talk about that low. We'll talk about it. Don't worry about that. You can keep it. No, it's what? What? What note is that? Hold on. Yes, I'm finding this out right now. Hold on. Come and pick up. That's so low. But I had enough. Now I'm really done. I deserve so much more than you gave to me. This woman is one of those talents that, like, should probably frustrate any singer. It's clear that she's put a lot of work, a lot of thought into her singing. But, like, extreme like extensions like that into the lower range, as much as it sucks to say, you can increase your range a lot. Everyone has a 3-octave range. Everybody. It's just a matter of working on it, right? Unless there's like something wrong. But like freaky extensions like that, you do have to. That is something you're born with. That's like, oh God, I hate to kill anybody who's aspiring and motivated. Like, if you're motivated by her, you should be. She's incredible. But if you think you're going to be able to go super low like that, I'm sorry to break it to you. That's not normal. That is so far away from normal. That is extraordinary. She's like a unicorn. She's like a unicorn in terms of the instrument that she was born with, and then I can't even imagine the hours she spent in training, and just training and discipline and playing and experimenting. This woman she's a phenom. You can give, I don't forget to. So that right there, these things, these little moments here. On where she's don't do that unless you know exactly what you're doing. That's risky. It's okay that she's doing it, and I'll explain why. This is a recording, right? She probably can take, this is the end of the tune. She probably is going to be allowed to take a very long break after this. So she can do something that's risky and tiring, but I would bet money that she doesn't do that 8 days a week on a very, very dramatic tour on every song, right? Like, you have to be very selective when you do stuff that's vocally tiring and risky. And it's an important note for anyone learning this. Like, do everything else other than the risky stuff, and experiment with the risky stuff in the bottom. And then working on doing incredibly light on the bottom. And I feel compelled as someone who wants to promote vocal safety, don't do it on top. She knows exactly what she's doing. Her breath control is phenomenal. So there's not a lot of pressure that she's getting, right? I do talk about how to get this sound in the Machine Gun Kelly video. Maybe I'll do something about that. I don't want to give people the keys to like hurting themselves. So be careful. Don't need no pieces. Oh my God. She's so good. Usually I have more things that are educational to say in my React videos, but this is currently a 15-minute video of me just freaking out. So, Jazmine Sullivan, she should be more well known. It's ridiculous. This woman is ridiculous. This is some of the best singing I've heard. Period. Let alone when or whenever. It's just think this woman is out of her mind good.